to search for something.
I had run back to get something that I think we needed.
Alright. You were running back to, Riley Sampson's former haven.
Well, I'll go with that.
At least I was fairly certain you were.
To get the notebook or burner phone.
Was it? Okay. I'll go with that as well. I thought I had written it down in the emote that I typed into chat, but evidence suggests that I did not.
Whoops.
Apparently I just ran off to get something. Air quotes. Something.
Alright. So you run off and we'll deal with you in just a second then. What is everyone else planning on doing? Oh dear, you got very distant.
How late is it?
Oh yes, that's right. It's 2 a.m. now. The night is high
Whoa.
and people are going to sleep. Eventually. The normal bustle of the city has died down for perhaps just a few hours.
England will probably be returning to bed.
Well, sunrise isn't for another 4 hours.
He will be returning for his final bed. He's going to go try and speak to Simon.
Alright, so you plan to go to Simon. And anyone else? Or will you just hang out at the club and spend some time of the night there?
Sarah might make her way towards the Warrens and maybe, if there's time left, seek out her mentor. But if not, that's always a good place to hunker down for the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam has the rough knife, so he's just gonna go back to his haven and just relax. Just relax a bit.
Alright.
And John's
Chills.
gonna. Sorry.
Go ahead.
John's gonna go do some hunting back at his feeding grounds / haven.
Oh, yes, after the last experience, you must be excited for more. How much blood are you on right now?
5 points.
Ah, still pretty hungry then.
Yeah.
Or,
I donated some blood to the ritual, so.
oh, yes, that's right. That drained everyone just a little bit.
No, not everyone.
Well, some people.
Like 2 people.
I gave 3 points.
The altruistic people, in other words.
Yeah, those of us that, were willing to make a sacrifice.
Elon was willing to make a sacrifice, just not his own. You guys let that walk right back out the door, though. Or rather, should I say, Garrett, or whatever his name was willing to make a sacrifice.
Greg.
Oh, Greg.
Greg, there we go.
Yes, Greg, the eternal returning character. He shall be seen again.
The greatest
Never
of
I hope
NPCs.
so.
Oh, God.
I hope so. You know where my haven is.
Final boss.
Alright. Let's start at the top then. Victor. You rush back into the lower sections of the city, to the broken facades of abandoned apartment buildings, and rush back up to grab the burner phone. As you approach the floor, you notice some of the things have been shuffled around, some of the clutter that was around the door.
from the last time we were here.
Correct. You weren't gone too long, so you still have a good memory of what it looked like.
Okay.
Do you still intend to proceed?
Yeah.
Alright. It doesn't take much effort to move the clutter at this moment, and you get to the door, and of course it is locked at present.
I will... Well, shit. I don't have Nina's... I'm sorry, not Nina's. I don't have her, Sarah's picking ability. Tools, rather. I don't have her tools.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, I was rushing out while y'all were doing this other things, so I didn't stop to ask you. I seem to recall there was a thought or a need that we would need something from there. I will try and force the lock, I guess.
Okay, well, you can find a shard of rebar. There should be a penalty for not having equipment. What is that penalty?
I think it's like -1 or -2. Actually,
Something to that, too.
see here.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up equipment real quick. Lockpicking kit. Doesn't say over there. Maybe over in larceny. This is a penalty I wish I knew offhand. Well, doesn't seem to give a standard one, so I'm going to just go ahead and say a flat -2 for picking this door without anything. So, dexterity larceny, -2.
Alright. So I get to the right page. Here we go.
Break it down, you say. Yes, bash down the metal door.
I'll be honest, that's literally what I was going for at first, but then you're saying I could do this with something I find on the ground, so alright.
You do manage to do it. And as the metal door swings open, you hear a gunshot. Let's see if it hits. Let's see.
I'll be honest, I'm still very much a bit hazy on how getting shot works, so this will be a learning experience, at least for me.
Yes. Let's see. It's going to be dexterity and firearms on their part, with no defense on your part, because normal people don't dodge gunfire.
Right.
Unless you have celerity, which I don't think you did.
Nope, I have vigor.
Yes. So,
That's the reason why I'm so strong!
1, 2, 3.
Victor didn't return to the party that night.
Good thing it's just bashing damage.
Yeah, bolts are no big deal to vampires.
And how big was it?
God, the dragonfire rounds.
Oh no.
Explosive
problem.
ammunition.
Burn the earth with those.
Miss you.
4 bashing damage goes your way as a single shot comes straight at you as soon as the door opens. Someone is inside. A woman.
Okay.
She wears a red dress and has long blonde hair.
I've just been shot. I mean, like, seriously, what the hell?
Get out of here! You hear her say from within.
I'm going to look at her incredulously. Look down at myself. Where did she shoot me?
You ended up getting shot in the thigh.
I
No blood
used that.
pours from the wound. Yeah, well, I used this place, and I didn't invite you, so get out.
Who are you?
I live here. What do you think?
I don't know who lives here.
Well, it's a surprise you broke in, so get out.
You know what? How about no?
I got more bullets in this thing.
I'm going to raise up a palm, and I've learned a lesson. I'm not going to narrate until I make the roll, as to not look so incredibly foolish. So let me make a quick roll. And I think the damage actually puts me to a -1. Because I don't have a lot of health.
Is it the first 3 damage or the last 3 damage that gives you penalties?
I thought
Last
it was
three
only
damage.
lethal damage.
Is it?
No.
Well, I mean, my health
I
pool
think
is
bashing
small.
damage also gives you the penalty.
My health
Yeah.
pool is small, so it pushes the 4 pushed it right to the -1. So
Oh.
Ah, I see.
I'm very strong, but I'm a very glass cannon when it comes to these things.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, so 2 successes on that. Oh, it already. So I didn't have to put that in there. The wound penalty already does it for the sheet. Okay, good to know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So there's a -1 in there for no reason.
Oh, well, roll an extra die then. Have fun. Get it back.
Nothing. All right. So with one, since I have to narrate what these are by successes, with one of my successes, I create these looming balls of fire over both of my hands. Actually, I use both of my successes for that. There'd be large fireballs, and I say, "You have bullets. I have these."
She looks nervously as you literally conjure up magical fireballs in front of her. Intimidating even for a creature of the night. Perhaps especially. That's a very impressive trick. But why the hell are you here?
I need your phone. Now, be a good neighbor and toss it over here.
My phone.
Yes.
She just raises her eyebrows at you. This has got to be the weirdest burglary I've ever participated in.
You know what? I've been here earlier in the night. I've rifled through all your stuff. You know how much stuff was taken? I bet you think it's nothing. It was
Asshole.
nothing. I took nothing. How about that for a weird robbery? I broke into your place and I took nothing. But I know there's a phone in there. I need your phone.
What the
Her mouth hangs open incredulously, and she is utterly speechless. Are you alright? I have to ask, are you okay?
Oh god, I have a Malkavian for a neighbor. Help me.
Now I'm going to throw this ball of fire at you if you do not give me your phone right now. I'm tired of talking to you.
Okay, fine. And she'll reach into the small handbag beside her, pull out a simple little burner phone, and chuck it your way. There. Do you have a hand free to actually grab it?
I mean, I could just, throw one fireball into the other one, meld them together, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That would just be a craft roll if you want me to make that. Otherwise, I
I
have
don't
it
think
happen.
it indicates like any handedness to controlling fire, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not where I get my nickname from, so.
Mr. Fire Two Hands.
No, I've really gone off the rails on this one. But, yeah. I'm not gonna say thank you. Especially with these bullet wounds in my leg.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a pleasure to meet you either here.
What was her name again? I'm not asking that out loud. I know her name. We've seen it on paperwork. I just didn't write it down.
Sadie.
Sadie.
Alright, Sadie. Let's never meet again. And I close the door.
You hear a very loud sigh from the other side of the door as it closes. Well, you have your burner phone.
Yep. And I am going to make a run back. Of course, I'm going to put out the fireball.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna run through the street with it. Alright. What's next on our list of insanity? Next on our list, Ellen goes to meet with Simon, his sire.
Shockingly, not much of almost the exact same reaction. There's going to be fire, bleeding. It's going to be great.
Let's see. Here we go. Simon normally can be found at the Gentleman Club that acts as Elysium for many of the high-ranking Invictus. But you know that later the night he'll be at his personal estate. A wonderful penthouse that gets a view of the entire city. You are let in immediately. You even have a few codes to get through a few doors. Simon greets you merrily. Oh, what a pleasure to see you. I was wondering if I might actually get to see you in person tonight after that call.
It's
Something strange must be happening tonight.
We could certainly say that. It's been an interesting series of events.
Oh, please, take a seat. Sure. Tell me, how have you been doing, my protege?
And we'll settle down kind of next to him. He's like, "Oh, I've been doing well. Just recouping from whatever happened the other night. It's been odd. I have some. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how to deal with it, Simon."
For reference, this is in fact the same night. We have not even transitioned away from one day yet.
Yeah, but the murder actually happened last night.
But Simon nods, and you get a bit of a sympathetic tone from him. Well, I'm always here to help guide you.
I have reason to believe that some sort of sorcery, something was used on me. My memory of this past night's gone, and only from piecing together things I've come to discover what actually transpired.
From before the phone call, correct?
Correct.
Interesting. Please, start from the beginning. Tell me everything.
Well, and he recites everything.
Yeah, I was expecting that response. You don't hold anything back, you don't elaborate, you don't embellish.
He won't give names for the people he woke up with.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be the only caveat there. He's not going to imply that they're Invictus or anything else. If he inquires about it, he'll be like, well, I have reason to believe they're not Invictus. That type of thing, but just kind of deflecting that a little bit.
Right.
So.
Well, it seems like you are in a little bit of trouble. I imagine if Roger finds out, he won't be happy.
Most
And undoubtedly, he's already asked for assistance. Knowing him, he's probably pulled a favor with the prince, as the sheriff looking to find out what happened to his poor child. I doubt he'll find out.
More than likely not. I think I've covered my tracks fairly well, but I'm still trying to discern who did this. Why us? It seemed that whoever did this did the same to Riley.
Well, without many leads, I suppose you won't know. But I would almost posit, perhaps, it doesn't even matter.
Unless this happens again.
Common, of course, for assassination to be carried out, especially one as strange as this, but every now and then someone will make a play against another one. You simply have to be prepared and maybe sometimes let a scratch slide. But you do have some information on Roger now, don't you?
I thought you might be interested in this. And Elon will kind of, he'll take his phone and kind of like go to the gallery where he took these pictures and kind of slide it over so Simon can look at it.
He goes ahead and browses through. Ooh. Oh, and there's so much more here. There's everyone he's sold to, everyone he gets a supply from. Oh,
Yep,
this is some fantastic information, really. You could hang Roger with this if you wanted.
If he becomes a problem, I might.
But here maybe is the first lesson we could do. I would say you should take this and get what power you can over Roger with it. Threaten him. Tell him you'll sweep the rug straight from out of him and have him do your bidding from now on, lest he lose everything he's worked so hard for. He's not too high up on the ladder. No one will necessarily stop you if you were to make a power play such as this. In fact, it might give you a little notoriety, a little respect.
Odd.
I think this is a fantastic opportunity that's fallen into your lap. You've done well.
Thank you, Simon. Just a casual glance around. Is there anyone else around at all? Is it just him and Simon? Are there any bodyguards slowly coming up? Like, yes,
You do know that there were a few bodyguards within his penthouse estate. However, in his private sitting room, it is just you and he.
Okay. Gives a nod. I thought something else of the sort. Information is very useful, but I'm still concerned on who attempted to use me as a pawn. I doubt Roger will have any information relating to this. He'll probably be as clueless as I am.
Well, it always stands to reason perhaps it was Roger himself. Or perhaps his upstart child decided he'd try his hand at his own play.
You don't suppose Roger might have intentionally done something to possibly incriminate you? Your child or killing one of his aliases, him behind it, just Riley is a little necessary sacrifice to get a little bit of additional dirt on you.
It'd be like imagining a goldfish trying to eat a shark. It makes me smile.
That's fair.
It's possible. It is possible. Though, I do view it as unlikely.
Well, I just wanted to bring everything to your attention just so there's no surprises.
Well, I only hope that he survived their next assassination. And maybe another clue will emerge.
Me
Stay
too.
wary.
Elin will give a nod, and he'll probably just some casual chatting with Simon, just kind of talking to him as a professional, just, oh, how have things been, blah, blah, blah. And that's how Elin will spend the rest of his night before retiring to his estate, or his current lodgings.
Your personal private penthouse elsewhere.
Yep.
Very good. Nice night out.
Ignore the very apt ivory tower comparison here. Out of curiosity,
go ahead.
Does that count towards a beat for the where is it? I have it written down. The aspirations of do something to impress Simon?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. So
I had another one written down, so I wasn't expecting that, but I will totally take that.
Okay.
There you go. Congratulations.
Awesome. So I just marked that one out now, correct?
You could, or if it's just a long-term or continual one, you can keep trying for it.
I think I'll continue trying it then. Okay. That's it for me.
Alright. You still care about impressing him. Let's see. Nina, you are going to meet your mentor next.
Indeed.
Richard Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How is he? Yes. Friendly, Friendly Nosferatu.
Mhm. Just a friendly neighborhood Nosferatu.
Complete
Indeed.
with his own sewer.
Yeah.
Oh god. damn it.
Sterling doesn't live in as high and mighty part of town. He lives in an older section, but near the top of it. It's rather quaint, sort of reminiscent of 1920s architecture. A few sweeping Gothic statues line the top, and he lets you in when he sees that you've approached. Ah, my dear, how are you doing? So wonderful to see you.
Hey. Yeah. Good to see you too. Just under the circumstances, I gotta ask your advice on a couple things.
Oh, please. Come in, come in.
And she does. Kind of just casually looking around. She doesn't make a point to stare.
The room is filled with memories of a century's past. Portraits that are slowly getting older with age, but are well maintained. Not a shred of dust exists in this entire in the entire estate. He swings his cane as he walks through the hallways and leads you to his personal study. He pulls up a nice big comfy chair for you and another for him. So please, tell me, what troubles you tonight?
I need you to help me sort out information about a Ventru.
Oh, having a little bit of trouble with the Invictus already, are we?
More than I would like, yeah.
Alright. How can I help?
What do you know about Roger? Shit, what's his last name?
Oliver.
Roger Oliver.
Roger Oliver. He puts his finger to his chin and thinks. He is not trained in politics for a mentor skill.
No, he is not.
Cult expression persuasion.
In that case, I guess I would ask him more along the lines of, is there a certain talent among their kind that would allow them to control someone and then control them by proxy?
By proxy. He scratches his chin a little bit. Well, I would hope by now you would have at least learned that the Venture are capable of dominating the minds of others. But to do it through another? Now that's curious. You didn't happen to be on the receiving end of that.
She fixes him with a very neutral expression. Would I be here if I wasn't?
Oh, it could be possible. This could all be an elaborate assassination attempt, or... Oh, what's that movie called? The one where everyone gets taken over by aliens. He starts thinking very heavily on that little thought of trivia before snapping back to reality. Oh, yes, problems.
You're probably thinking of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Probably.
Oh, yes, that's the one! Oh, and when the man screeches, oh, it's... wonderful shivers through my spine. Love it.
Yeah, we need to update your movie repertoire, but some other night, probably.
Oh, I have plenty of time for that. I just like reveling in the newer things.
Not that new.
But will you explain the situation as you understand it more in detail to him? Or will you continue to stay a little vague and not necessarily hint at it?
I'll recall for him the incident, but I'll leave out the names of the others. I'll say that there were a couple more implicated from different clans.
Mhm.
But I won't say who.
Of course. A vial of bloody magic. Sounds like Kruak nonsense. Why would he... If it has this compulsion and it brought you all there, why would he try to fight all 6 of you at once? He must have thought too much of himself.
I mean, he was a Ventru, so figures. Yeah, I'm a little perplexed myself. I mean, the guy was apparently special forces, but 6 against 1, still.
That's true. Perhaps he could have taken on 6 normal mortals of your persuasion. But I suppose he did not account for the changes the curse brings upon us. He stands up and begins browsing through his shelves, looking from book to book, and comes across a singular one. He opens it up and browses through it. I swear perhaps I've heard of something similar to this before. Ah, yes. The duel. It's so dramatic, isn't it?
Doesn't a duel just imply, 1 versus 1?
It should, shouldn't it? I don't suppose anyone's attempted to be so bold as to summon multiple people to the same duel. I doubt anyone's lived to see what happens either. But, according to this, it might be the sort of magic that would bring one person to a duel to the death. It's not very popular these days, as you can imagine. It wasn't even popular when I was brought in. Something of yesteryears nobody cares to remember, except a few exceptionally old fogies.
So the purpose of the duel is someone dies.
Yes, a way of settling matters once and for all. Who's the bigger, badder monster?
Not much of a fair fight if it's 6 versus 1, though. You think it was rigged intentionally that way?
It certainly couldn't possibly be rigged the other way. I know that for certain. But why would they... it's such a mystery, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding.
But... So he was ex-military. Event true? As young as yourself, even. Could it be possible he simply didn't know what he had in his hands? Maybe someone gave him the wrong instructions. Or he misread them. He didn't happen to have a little bit of a note with details on it, did he?
No, just a scrap of paper with my name and the names of several others.
Ah, yes. That must be so he could at least remember the names that he's calling, if he's never met you before. Take this as a lesson to write down the more important things, and simply remember the details like that.
From what I understand, this Riley guy was basically a fall guy. He was just thrown away, more or less.
By society, perhaps, but I imagine Roger picked him up for exactly that reason. Someone with nothing to lose, and everything to gain. A little bit of immortality to a fallen veteran. Ah, I remember hearing that story before. back during the Spanish-American War, even. Veterans come back, no place to go, sweep them up, and there you go. An instant little, bodyguard for you and your, fellows of the night.
And then he gets rid of him again, or Riley fucks up the instructions.
He crosses his arms, and he gets kind of a sour face as he thinks of that. No. No, no, no. He'd be viewed as property, if anything. You don't simply break something that you own, unless you're mad at it. I doubt he did anything to cross him. Was he exhibiting any kind of strange behavior? Talking to anyone else? Perhaps some outside force is afoot.
Well, he was peddling drugs for the guy.
Yes, but that's hardly a matter to, Kindred. I suppose it was simply how Roger makes money. Nasty.
I mean, unless Riley had something going on the side, but...
A little bit of ambition from a child, I suppose. What would he stand to gain from here? Someone must have promised him something exceptional. Put his life on the line 6 times in a row.
This duel you're talking about, so only really old Kindred would have heard of it.
Well, I imagine anyone who's done a little bit of research might have heard of it. I understand the Kruak might tell each other tales of it, of exceptional times and wonderful battles, but I doubt a single one of them would bother doing it, even if they didn't know it.
Would Venture do Kruak, though? That seems...
Ah, and that's what the syringe is for, isn't it? They had found a way to use it as the vessel for the ritual. To let it spread. Let someone else use it. Very, very clever of them, I must say. A little bit nasty to think. I'd even never liked needles. Not one bit. So, perhaps the one who arranged all this isn't necessarily the one who created it. And whoever created it may very well be a little bit older than expected. So perhaps we have 3 parties now. The one who created the mission, the one who created the ritual, and the one who tried to carry it out. The question is, how many of these are one and the same?
Well, we could scratch Riley off that list. So we're looking for the ritual maker and the mission giver.
Correct. But the trail's gone cold, hasn't it? He smirks a little bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
Well, I'm sure maybe you could go harass Roger about this. Accuse him of sending assassins, see what you can incriminate him with. And maybe check out his estate while you're there. Quietly pick through anything he might have. And see if he's maybe thrown away a note with incriminating evidence or something of the like.
That would be pretty convenient.
It would be, wouldn't it? Well, one can only hope. Otherwise, I'm afraid there wouldn't be much to do other than wait for him to strike again. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to wait for a second attempt.
Yes, better to keep the initiative.
Thanks, Sterling. You helped.
Helped. Wonderful to hear. Please, come by any time. It's always wonderful to see your bright young face around here.
course.
And you depart. Who else do we have? Oh, yes. I believe we had... John! You still had to feed again, didn't you?
Yep.
You've already, fed from at least one person tonight in your apartment.